Hey y'all, welcome to the Warp Zone. I'm Mellow Joe, and we're wrapping up Subversive September today, and I think I've saved the best for last. I didn't know I was saving the best for last because honestly, this game completely slipped under my radar, and I hadn't even heard of it until a few weeks ago. Today we're playing 1979 Revolution, Black Friday. We're dealing with some heavy topics today since the focus is a fictional but historically accurate game set during the Iranian Revolution. This game dives far deeper than the paragraph or two you got about it in history class. There's a lot to unpack, so let's get started. 1979 Revolution was released in 2016, and it's an interactive drama/adventure game. You have to make a lot of decisions for the protagonist, and it becomes increasingly difficult to stay neutral as tensions escalate. It plays a bit like Heavy Rain, where the narrative unfolds through exploring the environments, and the action plays out in quick time events. There's a lot of moral ambiguity as you progress, and the narrative is swayed by the decisions you make. As much as we'd wish for things to simply be black and white, the real world is a lot more gray. Playing this game in 2025 feels like it should be an allegory for current events, but instead it stands as a warning to us all. You play as Reza Shirazi, a photojournalist who's recently returned home to Iran. As you take photographs of the growing unrest, you're shown the real-world photos and given the historical background of events. The narrative weaves a story that pulls you in different directions. Your best friend Babak is committed to nonviolent revolution. Your brother Hossein is a police officer and loyal to the Shah. And your cousin Ali is a mujahideen ready for violence. Reza's inner circle of people he cares about the most embodies the conflicting points of view of the time. Much like the revolution itself, the conflicting views eventually make a storybook happy ending impossible. The beauty of this game is being able to understand the why of everyone involved, including the ones you disagree with, allowing you to see the humanity in all the differing points of view. This game just hits different. I'm generally not crazy about quick time events, but they aren't really the focus of the game, and they make sense where they're used. The focus is the story, and the story resonated really deeply with me. I believe this is a must-play game. It's unabashedly authentic, and I was not surprised to learn that many of the folks who worked on this game lived in Iran when the revolution happened. To the developers of this game, especially the ones who can't return to Iran for their own personal safety because of this game, I want to offer you the most sincere thank you I can muster. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I found the story to be incredibly moving and thought-provoking. I don't want to spoil the story for you because I really want you to play this too, but there's a few key moments that I want to point out that really resonated with me. So fair warning, there may be some spoilers ahead depending on the choices you make when you play.
When does it stop, Ali?
When we make it stop. I fight for the innocents lost in that Evin prison. You worry about your damn soldiers. You in?
Don't do this, Reza. Trust me. You throw that rock, and it's gonna change you.
We can do this.
There's a moment where Reza can throw rocks at the Shah's troops. Journalists are committed to telling stories without becoming a part of them. Later, he has an opportunity to jump in and save someone being beaten, but takes photos instead. Journalists aren't heartless. Deep down inside, sometimes they just want to throw the damn rock too. As a journalist, I've reported on countless stories that truly break my heart or make my blood boil. And in sharing the facts surrounding them, I lift up the voice of the voiceless. Seeing Reza struggle with this made me feel seen in a way that often goes unappreciated.
1 week back and you're pulling this crap?
Relax, man.
Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What would Mama and Baba say, huh? You thinking about them at all? What are you doing, Reza?
I know what I'm doing, Hossein.
Reza, these guys want a piece of you. You understand? Where is Ali?
That's what this is about? You getting your hands on Ali?
It's about survival in this country, Bache. This is not a game. Wake up!
Reza and Hossein found themselves on opposite ends of the political spectrum. It's truly heartbreaking when you can't see eye to eye with your own sibling. You wonder how someone who was raised in the same house with you, with the same values as you, can end up on the other side of the coin. It's a real thing, and I'll leave it at that.
Ali is trouble. Everyone knows Ali is trouble. Why have you been hanging out with him? Is this Bobak's doing? Humayun, say something!
Shirin John, what does Bobak have to do with this? Calm down.
Anybody finds out about this, آبرومون میره.
He's your family. He's your nephew.
Enough, that's it.
Hossein and his mom were comfortable with the status quo. Their needs were met, and they were comfortable, and therefore unwilling to accept change. You don't have to agree with them to at least understand why they felt the way they did. When you zoom out, we see the same thing with entire populations seemingly willing to turn a blind eye to injustice. When combined with the fear of the unknown, it becomes clear how the average citizen becomes complicit in injustice, sometimes without even realizing it.
Do you know who I am? You're the devil. I see. My name is Asadullah Lajavardi.
And then there's Asadullah Lajavardi. The game introduced me to his brutality when my choices led him to kick me to death in the opening scene. I just wanted to take a second to point out that this was a real guy who was really the warden of Evin Prison. He killed between 4,000 and 5,000 mujahideen and their supporters in that prison in 1988. 1979 Revolution reminds us that regimes rewrite history and those in power fear witnesses. Taking photos, recording voices, and telling the truth, these are revolutionary acts. Resistance today means documenting injustice, amplifying unheard voices, protecting the record, and building a coalition with people you might not expect. Authoritarians sow division and thrive on erasing memory. Don't let them. Lock in, because there's a lot of lessons to learn from 1979 Revolution, so let's take a look at some specific examples. Here's your Subversive September dossier. Babak, Bibi, and Abbas were unwavering in their commitment to nonviolence. Revolutions are messy and the odds are stacked against them. Research shows that nonviolent campaigns are about twice as likely to succeed as violent ones. Nonviolent movements attract a broader base of support. In most cases, a sustained support of just 3.5% of the population is enough to force major change, or, failing that, to collapse a government if change doesn't occur. Striking workers helped screech the economy to a halt and was a crucial factor in ousting the Shah. Today, workers have the power to bring any empire to its knees, but only if they're willing to endure the economic pain and hardship that entails.
You made the right choice, Reza. What are a few rocks going to do other than justify the army to attack us?
I don't know, but it was hard to hold back.
Authoritarian regimes send troops into the streets to provoke violence and then use that violence to justify martial law. This allows the authoritarian to tighten their grip on power and snuff out dissent. We saw the Shah send his troops out, and things go off the rails when the crowd gets violent. Commit to nonviolence and alert someone you trust about where you're going. Use a permanent marker to write the numbers of your attorney and your bail bondsman on your arm in case you're detained or arrested.
What
What are they doing?
They're beating innocent people, Bobak.
Be careful! They look
I
vicious!
can handle myself.
Don't do this, Reza! Your pictures will accomplish more than anything you could possibly do out there!
Okay, I got this. I can't believe this. The world needs to see this.
You make me sick!
Damn it! I should do something.
You're not a fighter, Reza. Neither of us are.
This is really tough, Bobak.
Reza wanted to save a protester who was being beaten, but Babak convinced him to take photos instead. In doing so, Reza gave a voice to the voiceless. Had he jumped in, he too would have been beaten or worse. Citizen journalists stepped in where the state media wouldn't, with newsletters, pamphlets, and photos exposing injustice to the light. We see citizen journalists today with Substack, TikTok, and other social media providing on-the-ground coverage of Portland LA, and Washington, D.C. when traditional media won't. Keep a camera handy and document everything. Take care to protect the identity of protesters. Authoritarian regimes thrive in misinformation and will co-opt these avenues for counter-revolutionary tactics by introducing disinformation into the platforms. It's imperative that the citizen journalists remain truthful and accurate by not aiding in the spread of disinformation. Counter-revolutionary tactics succeed when they erode trust by duping well-meaning citizens into spreading a false narrative.
Sandwich kalvas? Oh man, I'd kill for one right now.
قابلی نداره. Have some. Help yourself.
No, I can't do that. You're too kind.
تعارف نمی‌کنم. It's my pleasure.
That's Taro for you. The whole world could be dying of starvation, and an Iranian guy would still offer you his last piece of sandwich.
Mutual aid networks are key to weathering economic pain and are especially useful when supply chains or economic conditions are disrupted by citizen action. Food is probably the most obvious form of aid. We see this demonstrated in the theater. Modern-day mutual aid networks exist by and for neighbors and may also include ride-sharing, coat drives, gardening, and phone trees. Offer what you can to your community and take what you need. If you don't have a mutual aid network in your community, maybe it's time for you to make one. You don't have to wait for a crisis to help your neighbors.
This is a momentous occasion!
Man, look at all those people on stage. Who are they?
All the major players are represented. You got the clergy, the communists, the Tudeh party, student leaders from the National Front, even the Mujahideen is represented.
All of them are here to support Abbas?
It's dangerous for Abbas, but that's what he needs to do.
How long do you think a truce will last?
I don't know, we'll see.
There were many factors in play that ousted the Shah, but several groups with different goals were unified in their belief that the country needed a new direction and new leadership. History shows us most revolutions are sparked by peasant uprisings, losing a war, a disgruntled military, or a financial crisis. Iran was unique because they were generally prosperous with a, albeit corrupt, pro-Western government. There's countries around today that fit that description. I don't need to name their names here. I'm sure you can think of a few on your own. In Iran, the communists led strikes, the nonviolent activists advocated loudly for more freedom, religious leaders promised a return to cultural heritage and identity. All of these groups came together for a common cause, taking down the Shah. And while they were successful in their initial goal of getting rid of the Shah, the coalition could not hold for long term. The power vacuum left behind only led to a different flavor of authoritarianism. A revolutionary coalition must have an equitable plan for what comes next, or it will be chewed up and spit out by forces consolidating power. That's your Subversive September dossier. Stay sharp and stay loud. We've tackled some pretty heavy stuff this month. I promise I'll keep the next one light. Probably Hello Kitty Island Adventure or something. I don't know. I'm kidding. Probably. For the Ward Zone, I'm Mellow Joe. Bye-bye.